A very good morning to you all, captains, and welcome back to the flight deck. This is Captain Simwings speaking, and today marks a massive milestone in our virtual career series because I have officially accepted a brand new offer from Etihad Airlines. So this opens up a whole new world of high-stakes international freight routes as well as passenger routes. And we will be kicking off this new chapter right here from our home base in Abu Dhabi. So as we are sitting cold and dark, we are at Abu Dhabi International Airport, and for today's flight there will be no passengers on board. Instead we will be flying the cargo variant of the 777 as we've been given a cargo route to fly for today. So speaking about the route, let's step into today's flight stats. So the route is taking us from Zayed International Airport in Abu Dhabi, and we will be routing northwest across the Middle East and the Black Sea to Budapest International Airport in Hungary. And for today's flight we will be flying the PMDG 777F, which is the cargo variant, and we will be spotting this beautiful Etihad livery that you see in front of you. And for today's distance we will be covering approximately 2,175 nautical miles. And then with regards to our career stack, and yes, again this is just to remind those who are constantly coming back and viewing the videos, as well as those who are new to the channel and the videos themselves. We will be utilizing a pilot's life chapter 2, which will be managing our career progression, the flight tracking, and the scoring that we do review at the end of each and every flight, and that we will also be using beyond ATC for the air traffic control and some limited traffic injection, and then of course GSX for all our ground services. And as the flight disclaimer, this video is focused on pacing and entertainment, and what this means is that the long cruise portions and certain routine procedures will be streamlined to keep the video moving forward. I'll also be utilizing the Beyond ATC AI assistant to handle the radio frequencies during the high workload phases of flying this aircraft. So yep, that's enough admin for the day, captains. And as you can already hear, the airport is kind of busy this morning with some traffic flying by or taxiing by. So let's just hop into the aircraft, turn on our batteries, sort out our flight admin, and then continue to refuel the aircraft and load our cargo for today, and then make our way out of here. So I'm just going to step into the aircraft, and we can start with our flight tablet over here. Turn it on, have a look at the ground operations, and then just request our ground power unit. Perfect, we do have the ground power unit connected. There's the aircraft that was making some noise going past. Right, then with that being done, we can hop over to our overhead panel, and we can then start by turning on our batteries. And after turning on the batteries, because we've got both the primary and secondary ground powers available, we will just be turning those on, and then we can start our flow from top down, going left to right. So starting at the top, we have our DIRU. We'll turn that on to start our alignment. Turn on some cabin utilities, make sure our bus tires are fine, all of them are in the on position. Turn on our emergency lights, turn on the window heats. Perfect. Pass the hydraulic section. For our supernumerary signs, we will turn the no smoking sign to on, leave the seat belts on the off position. And then for our master bright light, we will turn it up all the way as it is in the afternoon. And then go past our engines, the pumps, anti-ice. We can leave this one off for now. And then our nav light is on, so we don't need the logo and wing lights. Air conditioning looks fine, the bleeds look fine, everything else looks fine. Perfect. And that's our aircraft powering up in the background. So what we are going to then do, Let's go to our flight bag and then just call in our flight as well, and then we can have a look at our charts. So our departing airport chart, we want to pin that. So let's look for it. There we go, we pin our airport chart, and then do the same for the arrival airport chart as well. We just want to pin that to our tablet. There you go, pinned. Then we can have a look at our pinned charts. So for our departing airport, this is where we are currently parked. We just want to have a note of the important frequencies that we need to know. Beautiful sounds coming through there. So our ATIS frequency for the departing airport is 119.675. So just going to note that. And then we do have Abu Dhabi delivery on 125.1. Perfect. And then we can also look at the arrival airport, the charts as well. So the ATIS, we're going to do this. Not a bit, set the zoom. How do I rotate this chart again? Right, but anyway, we do have our ATIS on 132.380. So I just want to note that as well. Then we will be listening in on the ATIS as soon as we are 150 nautical miles away from the arrival airport. So we can reset the zoom and then we can call back this. And then let's just have a look at our flight plan, and then we'll just hold it here for now. And then what I want us to do in the meantime is that we can just listen in on our ATIS for today's flight. So we do have the ATIS on, let's double checking, 119.675, 119 and then 675. Perfect. And then we can just listen in and be a well understanding of our flight conditions for today.
India. Abu Dhabi Airport information, India 0428 Zulu, surface wind 210 degrees, 5 knots, variable between 160 degrees and 230 degrees. Ceiling and visibility okay, temperature 28 degrees, dew point 21 degrees, QNH 1007, landing and departing runways 31 right, 31 left, transition level 150, numerous cranes in operation around Abu Dhabi. Advise on initial contact, you have information, India.
Alright, captains, from the readout, we do know that we do have information, India, with the QNH of 1007, so we can just set this up in the meantime. 1007, perfect. And then we have a transition altitude of 15,000 feet and temperatures are at 28 degrees. So that's nice and warm for today. Perfect. Let's go over to our flight plan and then let's just start by looking at our routing first. So I'm gonna skip over to our routing, and this is, or these are all the waypoints that we might have to input. So I think for these ones, especially for the long haul flights, I'm just going to use the link and just request them rather than just input them myself. Yeah, that will just make things a little bit easier on our side. Right, so our first transition waypoint is the Arturo waypoint. So I have noted that waypoint down, and then our last transition waypoint for the star, which will be leading us into the star, is the Kesal waypoint, so I have noted that as well. And then we are planning to arrive via Castle 2 Hotel on runway 31 right. So our flight plan does say 13 right, but this will change as we do speak to ATC. Perfect. And then on that note, before we do anything else, let me have a look. All right, let's just go through the flight plan and then we will continue to request clearance from ATC. So for today, we are Etihad 9654. We are departing Zayed International and we are heading to Budapest. So it's the Liszt Ferenc International Airport. We are to depart at 0700 Zulu, and then we are expected to arrive at 12:35 Zulu. And for today, we will be flying the B777F, which is the cargo or the freighter variant of the B777 with our GE90 engines on board. For today, our cost index is 170, and then we've got average winds coming in from 252 at 26 knots, and then we've got an average wind component of minus 0.18, which indicates that we do have a headwind and a deviation of positive 7. And then our allocated cruising altitude for today will be 32,000 feet, but of course we will step climb should our FMC just indicate that we have a better or more optimal altitude to be cruising at. And then we do have an estimated zero fuel weight of 241.6 tons, and then a estimated takeoff weight of 301.3 tons. And our trip today, we are looking at 5 hours and 58 minutes in the air, covering a ground distance of around 2,732 nautical miles. And yeah, let's have a look at our fuel. Our fuel, we are carrying 60.3 tons on board with a fin raise and alternate of 7.7 tons. Our weights, let's have a look. So we are carrying quite a lot of cargo, 96 tons of cargo, 97 in the payload, and then we just have 4 passengers, that being the 2 pilots and 2 cabin crew, who will be assisting with arranging the cargo and just setting things up in the back. So I think we are well versed with our conditions today as well as our flight plan. Because we will be departing from runway 31 right or 31 left, let's just try and search for our SIDS. So our student instrument departure, and then just try and preempt or guess the SID that will be allocated to us as we do request for clearance from ATC. Alright, so under the SIDS, our transition waypoint is Arturo. So I'm just going to look for Arturo over here, and then we are looking for one that talks to 31 left, 31 right. Right, I'm going to pin this one, and this one, this one, and I think that covers all our Arturos. So when we do go to our pinned charts, looking at the SID, we have Arturo 4 kilo, so I'm just noting them. Then we have Arturo 1 uniform. Then we have Arturo 3 papa. Right, and those are the possible SIDs that could be read out to us as we do request for clearance. So on that note, can go back to our radio stack over here and then just request for clearance. So we will be on Abu Dhabi delivery on 125.1. then we can just request for clearance. Abu Dhabi delivery, good morning. This is Etihad 9654 Heavy with information India, requesting clearance to Budapest International Airport.
Etihad 9654 Heavy, Abu Dhabi delivery, expect runway 31 left, 221 uniform departure, squawk 2140.
Cleared to Budapest International Airport, expect runway 31 left on the Atudo 1 uniform departure, squawk 2140, Etihad 9654 Heavy.
Etihad 9654 Heavy, reback correct. Contact ground 123.975 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Ground 123.975. Right, captains, that was our frequency for the ground, so we are on 123.975. And we can just select ground for now. Perfect. And then on that note, we can then continue to prepare our aircraft. So we'll start with our views. Number one, cancel the warnings that we are seeing there. And then as you do see, the Adiru is in align mode, so they have finished their alignment. Perfect. So what we will do, as we are on the lower center screen,
via Echo 14 cross runway 31 left, taxi to holding point Delta 11 runway 31 left, via Echo 14 Delta 9 of Charlie 4 Charlie, Delta 11.
Let's just change our frequency for
via
now.
Echo 14 cross runway 31 left, taxi to holding point Delta 11 runway 31 left, via Echo 14 Delta 9 of Charlie 4 Charlie, Delta 11 Etihad 189.
Right, so we can just change our frequency a bit for now so that we don't get interrupted, because we don't need ground for now. And then we can just set up our views, and there's the Etihad aircraft. So what we will then do is select engines, so that this goes away, and then select your left screen and turn this to your ICAS, and then select engine over there, turn it back to the middle and do that. Perfect. And then we can just call up our checklist over here so that we don't forget to do it. So pre-flight oxygen test, so we can go to the stats page to have a look at our oxygen. There it is. So this where's my stat button? There you go, there's the stat button. So if we look, our crew oxygen pressure 1860 and 1830, that's fine. And then can also just come over here and test our oxygen. There we go, we do have oxygen flowing correctly in the aircraft. Go back to the checklist, so our oxygen is fine, instruments are all okay, they are working, we are good with them, so we can normalize that. And then we will carry on with the checklist before we carry on to request for pushback and engine start. So but for now, what we then need to do is call in our flight tablet, look at our flight plan for today, and then we will go to the FMC. Nav data is out of date, let's just update that quickly. Right, perfect. Our nav data has been updated. So as you can see, we do have the data being active from the 14th of May to the 11th of June, and today is the 24th of May, so we are good. on that. Can clear this, go to the position initialization page, and then we are departing OMAA. And we are heading, okay, let's just copy our coordinates. So let's do this, index, identification, position initialization. I think we are, so let's just check something. Okay, right, it did find itself, and then we can then go to the routing page. Perfect. And on the routing page, what we will then do is just request our route. So we will hit request, and it's OMAA to LHBP, which is correct, and there we go, and we can select that, and then it will be requesting for us in the background. Perfect. We have the notification that the route has been requested. Just clear these, and then we can just load it up. Right, it has loaded, and then we can just activate it as well. Right, I'm happy with that. We are departing OMAA, heading to Lima Hotel Bravo Papa, which is Budapest. Perfect. And then next page, we should see our route now already inputted for us. So M here to Golugu, yes, okay, so this is correct. And then we can go to our departure and arrival page, and then on there we will be departing from 31 left on the Arturo 1 uniform departure, and then we don't have a transition, so we can just hit execute over there. Perfect. And then for the index, we go to the arrival. For the arrival, we are planning to arrive via Casal 2 Hotel. Casal 2 Hotel for now, and then we just hit execute. Perfect. So let's have a look at our legs page, and then just comb through our flight plan. Alright, so we'll be heading straight out, taking this turn. Alright, so let's just walk through it and step through it, making the turn, fly past that way, and then we'll be making our way down, just like that. We'll be arriving via the star. Yep, 13 pages worth of routing, so there was going to be a lot of inputting. Okay, and then we can just decrease our range just slightly, continue to step through it, make a turn that way. Alright, no, I'm happy with that. We will sort out the remainder as soon as we are close to the airport. It's going to be a nice turn towards our right, and then another right hand turn again, and we fly past the airport as well. So that's going to be a nice departure. Let's go back to our setup over here, and we can go back to the routing page, performance initialization, and then we'll pause here. And then what we are going to then do is we are going to be setting up our squawk. So our squawk for today is 2140. Perfect, and then we can just select TA only. It's perfect. And then with our squawk set up, we will then just pull up on GSX and then request for refueling, carry on to request for the loading of the aircraft as well, and then we will come back to set up the remaining elements of the flight and then make our way out of here. So while they are refueling the aircraft and while they are setting up and loading up the aircraft, we will just be outside watching and having a look at what's happening. Awesome. So pull up our GSX and then we are just going to request for refueling.
Refueling truck is on its way.
Alright captains, our aircraft has been fueled up, loaded with cargo, and the crew is on board, so we can finalize a few more things. So we will go over here to FS section and then just have a look at our payload page, and then we can pull up our flight plan and just have a look at our weights. So the zero fuel weight is supposed to be 241.6, and what do we have? 241.7. So that's perfect. So zero fuel weight 241.7. You can set that up, and then gross weight 301.3, 302, 302, perfect. And then our cruising altitude today is going to be 32,000 feet. Cost index is 170. Cruise CG. Okay, that's fine. Then let's go to our thrust limit page, and let's perform our takeoff calculations. So we will be departing 31 left. Dry conditions, import from the aircraft is correct, and then import the weather and calculate. So we have a selected temperature of 49 and a derated takeoff to takeoff 01, and then 49 degrees. Perfect. There we go. Our N2 is very close, 92.1, 92.2, and the climb will be derated to climb 2 as well. Perfect. Alright, then let's go to takeoff. Next page. Then our runway winds 230 at 6. And slope 0.0. Outside air temperature we have 32 degrees. Perfect. Next page. Flaps 5. Takeoff center of gravity 27.4. And that gives us a trim of 5.75. Perfect. So our speeds are supposed to be 71, 73, 74. So 71, 73, 74. Perfect. Let's go to our legs page, route data, and then load our winds. And execute. And then we can go to the VNav, next page, descent, forecast, and then load our winds as well. Perfect. Then can go to our init page, and we are good to go. And then we will be going through our checklist as we need to, but let's just go over to our overhead panel, and let's first start with this. Gonna remove the tablet for now, so we don't have any fuel in the center tanks. That's fine. We only have fuel in the forward tank. So what we will then do is then just start up the APU and then head outside and listen to the startup. So we'll turn on the forward fuel pump and then start up the APU. Alright, captains, that's our aircraft started up. I mean, the APU started up. As you can see, the secondary power has disconnected. That means the APU is available and it's being used. So what we're then going to do is going to turn on our seatbelt signs, turn off that power, and then turn on all our fuel pumps, and then continue to switch on our beacon light as we will be starting up the aircraft. And then what we are then going to do is finish up our checklist. So now MCP V2 has not been set, so let's just go through our MCP setup quickly. So we have our V speeds calculated, and then we have our V2 at 174. There we go. And then we are going from runway 31 left, so it's going to be 310 degrees. And then we can just have a look at our flight tablet just to see the initial climb. So that's our SID. Initial climb is going to be 4,000 feet, so we can set that up. Perfect. And then flight directors can come on both sides, and then LNAV and VNAV can be engaged. So our MCP has been set up, takeoff speeds have been set up, V1, VR and V2. Pre-flight is good. Trim, we will be setting it up after the aircraft has been cleared correctly. And then the taxi briefing, we will be going to 31 right, so let's have a look. So we'll be going to 31 right. Where are we? I mean 31 left, so it's going to be an easy taxi. We'll probably go through E or Echo holding point over there, and then make our way out of here. So we have 4 kilometers worth of runway, very nice and long, hence the reason why we have a D-rated takeoff. So I'm happy with that. We'll just keep this page here. So the taxi, we are good, we do understand how we are going to be taxiing. And then let's just go to our GSX and then request for them to prepare for pushback and departure.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted. Locking gear.
Alright, captains, we can remove our chocks. So we can continue to remove the ground power and then remove the chocks as well.
Release parking brakes.
Perfect. And then the aircraft has been cleared accordingly. So we are just going to turn on our hydraulics, then move in a C motion and turn on the remainder of the hydraulics. There we go. And then this should then allow us to set our trim. So we have a trim of 5.75. we're on 4, 4.25, 4.5, 4.75, 5, 5.25, 5.5, 5.75. Perfect. Then that's our trim. So we can revert back to our checklist and normalize the checklist. Our trim has been set. Alright, captains, we can start to request for pushback and engine start. So let's head back to the ground frequency, and then I'm just going to request for pushback and engine start. Abu Dhabi ground, good morning. This is Etihad 9654 requesting pushback and engine start.
Etihad 9654 heavy, Abu Dhabi ground, pushback approved. Face south.
Pushback and engine start approved, face south. Etihad 9654 heavy. Alright captains, we have been cleared to face south, so our nose will be going to the right. Let's just change the direction of our pushback here. So nose right. South is at 180 degrees, so we want to go to 180 on this side. So we will then tell this to have the nose facing right. Perfect. Let's start our clocks. And everything is set. Let's release our parking brakes and then enjoy the pushback. Alright captains, and that's our pushback. So let's just begin to start our engines. We will start with engine number 2 and then come back to number 1. So we can start number 2 and then just monitor our systems and listen to the internal startup sounds. Just introduce the fuel over there. Perfect. And then also set our parking brake.
Waiting your
Monitor the
confirmation for a
startup.
good engine start.
Alright, engines are stable. Let's start up number 1 and then listen to the engine on an external basis. Then we can introduce the fuel as well. Alright, that's our beautiful startup. So let's just confirm through GSX that we do have a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
There
You
we
can
go.
disconnect.
And then let's just have a look. Our anti-ice can be on the auto position. Perfect. And then we can click our recall. No errors. Perfect. And then our APU can be turned off as well. And the auto brakes can be set to RTO, and we'll just do the flight controls check. So select flight controls over here,
Unlocking gear.
and then we'll do the full left, full right, full up, and full down. Alright, so we are good in terms of the flight controls. So let's head back to the checklist.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Alright, left and right is clear, so ground equipment is removed. We can normalize that. And then before the takeoff we have a flaps 5 setup. So let's just select our flaps 5. Let's do this.
Etihad 9856 heavy.
Perfect, flaps 5 has been selected, and then the ground crew is clear of the aircraft, so we can turn on our taxi lights and then turn on our runway turn off lights. And then co-pilot, continue to request taxi to the active.
Etihad 9654 heavy, request taxi.
We can normalize this.
Etihad 9654 heavy, taxi via Foxtrot, Echo 11 Echo, hold short of runway 31 left.
Taxi via Foxtrot, Echo 11, Echo, hold short of runway 31 left, Etihad 9654 heavy.
Right, let's begin our taxi. So release our parking brake, then just introduce throttle. right here. Right, we are about to get on the runway, so let's turn on our landing lights, and the strobe light can come on, and the weather and terrain can come on as well. Select weather and terrain on my side, terrain on the co-pilot side, increase his range. There we go. Alright, and then make sure the traffic indicator is on. Perfect. Co-pilot, continue to request departure.
Etihad 965 for heavy, holding short, runway 31 left.
Etihad 965 for heavy, Abu Dhabi Tower, wind 220 degrees, 5 knots, runway 31 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 31 left, clear for takeoff. Etihad 965 for heavy.
Okay, we have been cleared for takeoff. Let's make our way onto the runway. Okay, let's get ready to make our turn. And let's turn in. Perfect, and we can hold it there. Blocks can come off, and then let's just double check our systems before we make our way out. So TARA has been set, weather and terrain has been selected, weather selected on my side, terrain on the co-pilot side. Our landing lights are on, runway turn-off lights are on, taxi on, strobe is in the on position. Perfect, everything's fine. Packs are good. Flaps, we have green, flaps 5 selected, auto brake set to RTO. Right, flight directors are on. V1, V2, V rotate has been set. VNav, LNav selected, initial climb 4000. Right, captains, all systems are good. Let's make our way out of here. %, thrust, systems are stable. Keep it center.
Airspeed's alive.
Nose down pressure. Nose neutral.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Flaps up. Normalize the checklist. There we go, we are all good. Can open up our fuel page just to monitor the fuel. There's the F1 stadium right there, or the F1 circuit, Abu Dhabi circuit right there. Very nice. Monitor our altitude. As soon as we are above 10,000, we will turn off our lights. Lights can come off.
Etihad 965 for heavy, contact you via radar 124.85.
Sender on 124.85, Etihad 965 for heavy.
So, ever considered becoming a pilot? No, never. Afraid of heights. But you're in the control tower. I never thought about it like that.
UAE radar, Etihad 9654 Heavy, good day, passing 13,300 feet for flight level 160 direct orbit.
Etihad 9654 Heavy UAE radar identified. Climb to flight level 320.
Climb to flight level 320, Etihad 9654 Heavy.
Alright, captains, we have been given a climb to 32,000 feet, and that's our cruising altitude. So it's at this point where I'm just going to step away from the controls, and then yeah, you can just stay behind, enjoy the climb, and then enjoy the cruise, and then I will be back in front of these controls once we are 10 minutes away from the top of descent. So enjoy, captains.
Contact operator 126.7 Dallas Air 157 for Heavy.
friends, I'm back in the seat. Little over 5 hours and 44 minutes. We've got about 54 for 8 minutes or so to the top of descent, so we will just listen out for our clearance and then call in ready for descent. So yeah, just keep waiting it out a little bit and then we'll just change as required. Scenery is looking great, weather looks great as well. While we are waiting for that, let's just do this quickly, set up a quick fix. So go to our legs page, next page. Do this, I want to see something under departure and arrival. Yeah, we have that. Okay. LHBP. And then let's set one for 150 nautical miles. Okay, and then let's tune into the ATIS and try and get the arrival conditions. So we have ATIS on 132.380. Right, let's listen.
Variable between 240 degrees and 020 degrees. Ceiling and visibility okay. Temperature 26 degrees. 2.11 degrees. QNH 1026, landing runway 31 right. Departing runway 31 left.
Runway 31 right.
Okay, we've been given Keza 2 Hotel 31 right. Let's accept that clearance.
Hotel, runway 31 right.
And then let's set up our arrival. ILS 31 right. ILS 31 right. And then we'll get our transition accordingly. But we can even go to the legs page and then just have a look here. Nikra. So let's go ILS 31 right, and then do we have Nikra here? Yes, execute. Perfect, nice. And there we are. So let's continue listening on the ATIS.
Level 100. Advise on initial contact, you have information whiskey. Ferenc Airport information whiskey. 1143 Zulu. Surface wind 310 degrees. 6 knots. Variable between 240 degrees and 020 degrees. Ceiling and visibility okay. Temperature 26 degrees. 10.11 degrees. QNH 1026, landing runway 31 right. Departing runway 31 left. Transition level 100. Advise on initial contact, you have information whiskey.
Right, perfect, that's our arrival ATIS, so I am happy with that. Let's just have a look at our charts quickly, or even before looking at our charts, look at our routing, and then just step through it. There we go. Let's out a bit here and have a look, step through it. Okay, and then that's the hold. So we come back, swing around. I don't understand why we have vectors there, but I will select. Oh, let's do this. Go to the previous page. Micra. Okay, so let's select Nigra here, previous page, and replace it like that. Perfect.
Etihad 9654 heavy, Castle to hotel, runway 31 right. Report ready for descent.
Co-pilot, call in ready for descent.
Castle to hotel, runway 31 right, ready for descent. Etihad 9654 heavy.
Here we go.
Etihad 9654 heavy, descend to 4,000 feet, QNH 1026.
Descent to 4,000 feet. Etihad 9654 heavy.
Been given 4,000.
Etihad 9654 heavy, contact Budapest Center 120.375, bye-bye.
Contact Budapest Center 120.375. Etihad 9654 heavy, good day. Good afternoon, Budapest Center, Etihad 9654 heavy, descending via Castle 2 Hotel, flight level 340.
Etihad 9654 heavy, Budapest Center, weather contact.
QNH 1026, that's fine. We can tune into that and then make sure that we are good on the glide. Perfect. Looks very nice from up here. Let's go back to our flight tablet and then just have a look at our charts. So for the star, okay, let's search arrival airport and then we'll have a look at our star. Well, that's busy. Let's just also set up a couple of things on our side so we are still below our profile over here, so we're still good. We can go to the next page, and then get our runway. Runway 31 right, that's where we're going. Fix page, set that there, copy this again, next page, perfect. Set our radials 25, 15, 10. This page can have 5. Then we'll leave the one for 150. Perfect. Our transition altitude is 10,000 feet, so let's go to forecast transition 10,000. There we go. Perfect. And let's go back to our charts. So for the arrival star, we have been given
Budapest Center,
Casa
Sky
2
Travel
Hotel,
7205, good day, flight level 360.
approach 31 right.
Sky Travel 7205, Budapest Center, weather contact.
Spec opened, approach, ILS 31 right. Perfect, and then let's just have a look. So localizer is supposed to be 109.5, so we'll do this Navigraph 109.5, that's correct, and it's called, let's have a look, the name should appear somewhere, BPR, it's fine, it will appear here. And then the approach 307, which is what we have. Approach altitude is supposed to be 2,500, that's fine. And then our elevations, we'll use 616. I mean our minimums we'll use 616, yeah, 616. So let's set our minimums. Perfect. And then we can go to our init page. We're going to do a full flaps landing, so we can set our full flaps there. Wonderful. Now star, we can just have a look at that. So we come in this way, make our turn this way, come back up, and then turn around to land there. Wonderful. And then of course at this point we need to be above 4,000. Okay, I am happy with that. Wonderful. And let's see if we can pull off some landing calculations here. Landing dispatch, we are 3-1 right, conditions are dry, but the weather yet full flaps, it calculate. So we have 3.7 kilometers worth of landing runway, so that's good. And then landing en route using the current weight. Auto brakes 3 will be using too much of the runway, so let's go for auto brakes 4. We should be fine with auto brakes 4.
Budapest Center, Turkish 9 Foxtrot November, good day, flight level 340.
Turkish 9 Foxtrot November, Budapest Center, radar contact.
Everything looks good, captains. Budapest looks beautiful from the sky. Enjoying the scenery. A lot of agricultural land is what I'm seeing. Fuel is still good. Descent is still good, so we'll just watch out for 10,000. That's it. Wait, auto brakes 4. And let's have a look at our checklist. Descent, recall, no errors, we are good. Notes, we're good. Auto brake 4 has been set. Landing rate, which is our VREF and our minimums, so VREF has been set to 147, so we'll do 147 plus 5, which should land us at 152, and then our minimum 616, and we've got our approach briefing. That's it.
Weather 59 Mike Hotel, Budapest Center identified, climb to flight level 340.
Climb to flight level 340, Weather 59 Mike Hotel.
Altimeter, we're all good. The QNH has been assigned and it has been set. Can normalize that. Perfect. We are all good. Descent rate has increased. Throttles are no longer in idle. Okay, we are all good. Right, pretty nice and easy descent. Because we've got a altitude constraint here of 4,000, I am happy to set our final approach altitude. So if we go to approach 31 right, we are supposed to be at, have a look, we are supposed to be at 2,500. So I'll just set 2,500 on our side, and we will be protected by that constraint that we are seeing there. Perfect. Brake required. Alright, we are overspeeding. Let's just add some drag to slow down the aircraft. Alright, I am aware the speed brake is extended, so let's just do this. Auto throttle is on, so our throttles are good.
Austrian 764 Alpha, Budapest Center, expect Natix 2 Whiskey runway 34.
Expect Natix 2 Whiskey runway 34, Austrian 764 Alpha.
Etihad 9654 Heavy, contact Budapest approach 122.-75.
Contact Budapest approach 122.975, Etihad 9654 heavy. Budapest approach, Etihad 9654 heavy, flight level 170, we have whiskey.
Etihad 965 heavy, Budapest approach, QNH 1026, expect the ILS runway 31 right with the Micra transition.
QNH 1026, expect the ILS runway 31 right with the Micra transition. Etihad 9654 heavy.
We are all good. We did select the Micra transition, so we are perfect. Now it's just a matter of making our way down. Very nice scenery. Beautiful agricultural land here. Airport should be somewhere here in the distance. Okay, let's just deploy some speed brake so that our rate of descent increases, and then we will just leave half of the speed brake out so that we catch up, and then we just watch out for 10,000. Okay, reduce the speed brake. So we should be at 116 knots at this point, so we'll manage our speed accordingly. This is going to be a sharp turn, so I think we should just start managing our speed. 250. Full speed brake so that we don't lose the profile, and we decelerate accordingly. I know that it's still out, but we're gonna need to catch up to the profile. We're not too badly off of it, so we can catch up quickly. Leave the speed brake out, and then descent rate should increase. Just to catch up on the descent rate, and then we will do the flaps up speed as well. Perfect descent rate coming up, so let's just adjust our speed down to flaps up speed. Just watch out for 10,000. Below 10,000, landing lights can come on. Perfect. Then we can just select flaps 1. We can just pack away the speed brake. And there we make our turn. Beautiful how the detail is just coming to life here. Very dense offering of trees. Just trying to look for the airport as well. Could be seeing it. There we go. There's the airport. Nice. Oh, so we'll be coming in from this way and then making our way down. Okay, we are catching up to the profile, as you can see, so we will be descending a bit faster. So just bring up the speed brake to manage our descent correctly so that we don't overspeed. There we go. And just reduce flaps 1 speed. Flap 2 selected, and then our speed brake can be put away. The flaps will just help us in terms of slowing down without needing the speed brake too much.
Budapest approach, Euroing 67 kilo, flight level 105, we have whiskey.
Eurowing 67 kilo, Budapest approach, good afternoon. QNH 1026, expect the ILS runway 31 right with the Etihad transition.
QNH 1026, expect the ILS runway 31 right with the Etihad transition, Eurowing 67 kilo.
Eurowing 67 kilo, descent to 4,000 feet, QNH 1026.
Descent to 4,000 feet, QNH 1026, Eurowing 67 kilo.
Etihad 9654 heavy, cleared direct Micra, cross Micra at or above 4,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 31 right.
Cleared direct Micra, cross Micra at or above 4,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 31 right, Etihad 9654 heavy.
Flaps 5 speed, then some speed brake. Flaps. But and then I'm happy to do 180 so far. And because we are around about 10 nautical miles away from the runway, we'll just drop our gear. flaps 20, so that we have a nice safe speed buffer over there. Flaps 25. Okay, yes, we're about to make our turn. Let's do 170. Okay, below 180 knots, full flaps. Perfect. Then drop our speed 165. Normalize the checklist.
Kilo, cleared direct vertical, cross vertical at or above 4,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 31 right.
Cleared direct vertical, cross vertical at or above 4,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 31 right, Eurowing 67 kilo.
160 is good. Our gears down so we can turn on our taxi light as well. We are about to make our turn in so we can turn on the localizer as well. And because we are on the glide, we can hit approach. Here we go, localizer and glide slope captured, so we are all good.
Be advised, information X-ray now current QNH 1026.
1026, we're still good. Oh, the scenery is beautiful here in Budapest. And we are almost aligned with the runway. Looks beautiful out here, man. I think I'm going to enjoy a lot of flights with Etihad. At almost 5 nautical miles coming up, our VREF 147 plus 5 leaving us at 152. Okay, we can then select our VREF 152.
Etihad 965 for heavy, contact Budapest Tower 118.1.
Contact Tower 118.1, Etihad 965 for heavy. Budapest Tower, Etihad 965 for heavy, ILS runway 31 right.
Etihad 965 for heavy, Budapest Tower, wind 310 degrees, 8 knots, runway 31 right, clear to land.
Runway 31 right, clear to land, Etihad 965 for heavy.
Right, we've been cleared to land. Checklist is clear, we're all good. Gears down, flaps full, VREF set. That's okay, I'm happy. For a go around, we are told the following: climb right direct tipos at 3000. Okay, so your climb is probably going to be 3000. Yep, so we can set at altitude. There we go. And let's just pull up our airport chart so that we are aware of our exit point. Five nautical miles out. Man, the scenery looks beautiful here. Budapest is beautiful. Very, very nice. Right, we want to try and get this on center, so we will be letting go of the autopilot very soon. There we go, autopilot disconnect. Aircraft's under my control.
400.
Open nose slightly.
300. Approaching minimums.
Oh, we are on
200.
center. There we go. Keep it there, keep it there.
Minimums.
Continue.
40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Go bit of rudder, there we go. Almost center. But that was a pretty smooth landing. Once you hear the 5, then you've got to call it, man. It's pretty smooth. Okay, below 80. Reversers can be tucked away. Flaps can be tucked.
Etihad 9654 Heavy, exit next available taxiway.
Exit next available
Exit
taxiway.
right here.
Etihad 9654 Heavy.
There we go. Nice and smooth landing. Auto brake can come off. Very nice. Landing lights can come off. Strobes can come off. APU can come on.
Etihad 9654 Heavy, contact ground 121.901.
Ground 121.901.
Slow down a
Etihad
bit
9654 Heavy.
so that we know where we're going to be assigned to park. So co-pilot, continue request taxi to assigned cargo ramp.
Etihad 9654 Heavy. Request taxi to company cargo ramp.
There we go. Park right there. Pull up our parking brake. Perfect. And once our parking brake is in place, we can stop our clocks. 6 hours 21 minutes. Perfect. And let's cut our engines, captains. Tower N2. N2 has come down enough, so let's set our chocks. Then you can request the ground power as well. Perfect, captains. And then our hydraulics, like here, we can then turn them off. Perfect. The fuel pumps can come off, so we will connect to the ground power. Fuel pumps can come off. Maybe you can come off as well. And parking brake is set, and then we normalize the checklist. Perfect. Alright, captains, and that's our arrival into Budapest. Let's see how well we did on this one. So we'll bring up a pilot's life chapter 2 and just check our scoring.
Eurowing 67 Kilo, taxi to ramp 25 via Alpha.
Taxi to ramp 25 via Alpha, Eurowing 67 Kilo.
Right, that's our flight for today. Let's have a look at it. So we scored 100% for our flight. Very nice. Landing rate of 219 feet per minute and a G-force of 1.24. Very nice considering the size and magnitude of the aircraft. So let's have a look at our landing details more closely. So we came in very nice. We were on center-ish, I'll say center-ish, and then we were within our touchdown markers as well. So our landings are improving. I am happy about that. We did turn off the autopilot a little bit late, but anyways, I'm happy with that because we did have a stabilized approach at the end of it. So a landing rate again of 219 feet, and then we had a G-force rating of 1.24. So yeah, that's all good, captains. That's very nice. And then we made our way to the cargo side over here in Budapest. Very nice. And that's our scenery in around Budapest with the agricultural land and some residential settings out here. Very, very nice. I'm happy about that. Alright, captains, and that brings us to the end of today's flight. We had a lot of fun flying the cargo mission today. It's very nice flying the Boeing aircraft. They are a set of my very favorite aircraft because it feels so manual. You know, you feel the weight of the aircraft in the controls. So that's why I love flying Boeing so much. But yeah, anyways, captains, I trust that you enjoyed this flight as much as I did. If you did like this flight, please do hit the like button on the channel over here in the video description, and then also please do hit the subscribe button if you have not been subscribed to the channel, because with the stats that I've been pulling, I've noticed that I have been getting a lot of new users who are not subscribed yet. So it would be great for you to subscribe to the channel. And again, thank you so much for joining me on this flight. Thank you for always coming back to the channel every time I do upload a new video, and thank you so much for just continuing to share the videos as well. I do see, you know, from my friends who keep sharing the links to the premieres that we do hold for these videos on their statuses. My friends Andy, my wife as well, who shares these links. They really do help us. We do have a nice reach that we do get on our channel. So I really do appreciate it. I do appreciate every single second that is put into watching these videos. And on that note, captains, thank you so much again for joining me on this flight. It was an awesome flight. We scored well, we landed well, we flew an incredible plane, and I really do look forward to continuing our Etihad career series, and I look forward to our next flight. But until then, captains, let's continue to enjoy our love for aviation. Whether you fly Microsoft Flight Simulator or X-Plane, whether you love the Boeing or Airbus, we are all one. We all just enjoy flying. It's just a matter of preference at the end of the day, but we are all one giant family. So until then, captains, keep cool, keep calm, and see you next time. Goodbye.
The boarding requested. Crew deboarding starting. Crew boss is coming. Crew deboarding starting. Your crew has deboarded.